Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to part 2 of my Extra Utilities Mod Spotlight. Last episode in part 1 we saw all kinds of different cool blocks, things that muted sounds, things that moved items around and entities, even a nifty piping system that could move items, liquids, and energy. It's a pretty awesome mod that adds a whole bunch of utilities and just, basically a bunch of random different stuff that works together to do cool things. Now in this episode we're going to show you some of the items that are added by Extra Utilities. There's a bunch of them, so we're going to get into it right now and start showing you all the cool stuff added by Extra Utilities, now more on the item side than the blocks. Alright guys, the first item I'd like to show you is the Golden Lasso. This is a nifty item that allows you to pick up any entity in game, like so. Simply right click and you pick it up and store it inside the lasso. It's a great way to move different mobs around or villagers or anything like that. Now the really cool thing about this is you can place this golden lasso inside of a anvil and give it a name. Pretty awesome. Now when we take the golden lasso out, you'll see that he contains a sheep named Steve the Sheep. When we release it in the world and we mouse over that animal, you can see a little tooltip comes up above his head showing us his name. You can do the same with villagers. Simply place the villager in the lasso, give him a name, and now that villager has a name. Cool. Now, of course, this does require some levels, so if you don't want to use levels, simply take your golden lasso, place it in a crafting table like so, to get a new name. Now the downside is you can't name villagers this way, but you can name animals. So let's go ahead and get ourselves another sheep, place that in the crafting table, and you'll note that you get a golden lasso. This sheep has chosen a new name. That's a weird name. Yeah, the auto naming system does not particularly give good names, but there's some pretty nifty ones that you can check out. Now the next item to show you guys is the division signal. This item cannot be crafted. It's only found in dungeon chests, but it's a pretty powerful item and it's used for a lot of the other items that we're going to see in this mod spotlight. So basically, first off, you have to go find it inside of a dungeon chest, and you'll see when you mouse over it, it's telling you that it's inactive. You must perform the activation ritual on this division signal, and you can sneak right click on an enchanting table for more details. Now we've got a sigil that we can play with. Let's see what's involved and what we can do with the active division signal. So first off, what you can do with your division signal is to disenchant items. So if we go ahead and place this in here, you'll see a diamond sword with sharpness, looting, and fire aspect, the division signal, and a book. This will go ahead and reduce sharpness, looting, and fire aspect by 1 each. Yoink! So you might be wondering yourself, why would we want to remove 1 level of all the enchants on a weapon? Well, typically you probably wouldn't want to, but what you can do is go ahead, instead of putting an empty book in here with the division signal, you can take a book that already has the enchant on the book. So in this case I've got sharpness 1. Look what the result of this is. So we've got sharpness 2, looting 2, and fire aspect 2. This guy removes 1 level of sharpness because it's sharpness 1. If it were sharpness 2, it would remove 2 levels of sharpness. So we can go ahead and do this, and you'll see that it removed the enchant from the sword. So if you had like knockback on there, like personally I don't like knockback, I find it annoying. So if I got like a really good sword enchant, but it happened to have knockback on it, I could go ahead and take a knockback book and strip the enchant from the sword, and then it no longer has knockback. You can also do the same to get, different enchants and better enchants. So it's just a nifty way of removing enchants from a weapon or a tool that you don't necessarily want to have on there, but did show up in the random enchantment system. Pretty nifty. Now that's not all you can do with the division sigil. Let's take a look. Alright, now the next items are pretty unique. I don't think I've seen any mechanic along these lines. These are called unstable ingots. Now they are extremely unstable. So I'm going to open up a crafting grid here and tell you what I mean by unstable. I'm going to place the division sigil in here. I'm going to place a diamond, and note that you get an unstable ingot. Error, divide by diamond. This ingot is highly unstable and will explode after 10 seconds. Will also explode if the crafting window is closed or the ingot is thrown on the ground. Additionally, these ingots do not stack. Do not craft unless ready. This is an extremely unstable ingot. Like I said, if you place it in your inventory, look, it's got a countdown. Uh-oh, and if you close the crafting window, oh, that hurt. So, Direwolf, aside from blowing you up, what do these awesome ingots do? Let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and first start off by getting myself a pair of these things, and while I'm doing that, I want to make sure I have enough sticks. That's right, we're going to need a few of them. So let's get ourselves a couple unstable ingots. Cool. Now you can see they do explode pretty quickly, so you better make sure you get your etheric sword as fast as possible. That's one of the first tools available with unstable ingots. What's this awesome looking sword do? Well, it does about a little bit more damage than a diamond sword, so it will kill things pretty quickly. Yoink. Not much more, but a little bit more. Now, part of the damage that it does, though, is magical in nature and therefore bypasses armor. So this is a especially useful tool for some PvP servers. So if you want to go ahead and kill people who are wearing armor, or if you encounter any zombies or any other entities wearing armor, the etheric sword is your friend. So again, slightly more damage, and also it's going to, do its best to bypass a little bit of the armor. Awesome. Also note that when you attack enemies, you're not taking much damage on the sword itself. Okay, I only took damage on the sword when I broke a block with it. Nice, right? Pretty cool. Alright guys, coming up next, let's see if I can do this fast enough. 1, 2, 3, just barely making it. Destruction pickaxe. This is a really cool pickaxe. Alright, first off, it is 5 times faster than a diamond pickaxe. Look at that. Wow, it blows through these pieces of cobblestone. But you'll note that the cobblestone is not dropping on the ground. So any items mined by the destruction pickaxe will not fall on the ground. The other downside to this is that it really only works on stone. It will not work on ores or anything along those lines. So note that it's taking a lot longer to mine this. So number one, it takes a heck of a lot longer to mine anything that's not stone, and it won't drop the item. So if we did mine any minerals or anything like that with this, it would not drop on the ground. We wouldn't be able to get it, and it would just take a lot longer. It's slower than using your fists. So that should give you an indication. But it's a really nice way to mine underground and tear through some stone. Next up, we've got the Erosions Shovel. Instead of potentially risking explosion, I'm going to show you guys this shovel. It's going to do pretty much the same thing as the... oh wow, look how fast that is. So much faster mining dirt, but just like before, it's not going to be able to do much against anything but dirt, sand, and gravel. Now, the good news about this thing, you ready? Let's take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and give myself just a bit of gravel. There we go. So how many of you are just so frustrated when you're mining underground and you have to deal with those really tall stacks of gravel that keep falling and it takes forever to mine through? Watch this. Ta-da! Mining the bottom block of gravel will clear all gravel above it instantly. Just like with the pickaxe, it will not drop any items, so you won't get the dirt, sand, or gravel when you use this tool, but it's really nice against those tall stacks of gravel that keep falling, and it's so frustrating. Man, I hate it. I love this shovel. Alright, let's take a look at another nifty tool. This one is called the Healing Axe. Okay, requires 3 more unstable ingots, so be careful with those guys like I told you. Alright, what's going to happen is when you attack any living creature, it'll take some health from you and use it to heal the target for a slight bonus. So if you go over here and we, let's say, damage the sheep. Oh, it's hurt, it's hurt, it's hurt. Go ahead and right click it and it's going to heal the sheep with your own health a little bit. Cool. He's no longer damaged, he's happy, and now he can take another hit from the sword because normally a sword would kill him in 2 hits. Now he's been healed with my healing axe. Nice. Pretty cool, right? You will still, if you use this against undead creatures, you'll still be damaged, but the target will be injured by 4 times the amount. So this is a really good axe or weapon to use against zombies and skeletons. Not bad. In addition, while the axe is equipped, it slowly refills your hunger bar. Nice. So I'm going to read you guys the description exactly of what the reversing hoe does. It's the reversing hoe, so it does the opposite. Personally, I have occasionally tried to clear out some land and accidentally cleared too much by mistake. Simply right-click with the reversing hoe to reverse it back. You can turn dirt into grass, and you can turn, tilled earth back into dirt, just like so. It will also regress your wheat crops back to the previous state when you right-click them, which, according to the forum post, is not useful in any way, shape, or form. It can also turn cobblestone back into smooth stone. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Nice. All right, one of my personal favorites, the Builder's Wand, okay, requires one unstable ingot, but this thing is cool. I've kind of been wanting something along these lines, and this thing works pretty well. What it's going to do is it's going to check your inventory for pretty much anything that you right-click on. So note here when I mouse over this, you can see it's kind of giving you like a little outline of where these blocks are going to go, and it's going to build up on the face that you click on. So if I click on the top of this block, it's going to find nearby blocks, a maximum of 9 at a time, and extend it on the top. If I click on this side, it'll extend it on the right, like so. Yoink. Note that it used up some of the stone bricks from my inventory. Yoink. So note there that it only worked with 9. Whoa, that is awesome. I love this. Really cool tool to help you build. Wow. Nice, right? So definitely a pretty nice thing to use. It goes through stone bricks pretty quickly, as you might imagine. But again, it only does 9 bricks at a time. So you can see here it did a 3x3 area. It's a nice way to help you extendedly build a house. Wow, pretty cool. That worked great. I love this thing. So a very nifty device called the Builder's Wand. Now the next tool is a little bit tricky to describe exactly how it works, but it's called the Sonar Goggles. Ooh, requires 4 unstable ingots. So that's the most out of anything we've seen so far, and it's a little bit hard to make, but definitely worth it. Also requires some Eyes of Ender. What this does is it really helps you while mining. Note that when I place the Sonar Goggles on, okay, they're going to go ahead and kind of give you like a zoomed in area, so you lose some of your field of vision, okay? But the way this works is it has to work best while it's dark, okay? And what's going to work here is the following. When you mouse over a particular block type, you'll get this little wire frame showing you where any hidden blocks of the same type are. So we can see here that it extends downwards. There's one more block. So if we look down here, we'll note that there's another one of these blocks. The darker the area, the better. The more light there is, the harder it is to really see what's happening. So if we come over here and look at these iron blocks, you can see you really can't tell if there's any nearby. But if it's a nice dark area, when you mouse over the iron blocks, you can see there's this formation of iron not currently visible in your line of sight. Okay, but it does show you where they are. Mousing over stone shows you the stone. Mousing over dirt shows you the dirt layout. So you can see exactly where the iron extends to. Pretty nice, okay? It has a max range of about 5 blocks away, so it helps you to find that iron. So if we dig down here, we'll find out that I did place some iron, some of the iron blocks down there just to demonstrate for you. Pretty neat, right? So again, has to be nice and dark in order for it to work. The darker, the better. Okay? If you have a little bit of light here, it's going to be a little bit harder. You can kind of barely make out the formation if you're really looking for it, if there's a little bit of light. But of course, if it's really dark, you're going to do a lot better. Nice, right? Definitely wouldn't recommend wearing these outside because it does significantly inhibit your vision. Ah, that's better. Now for another nifty tool. Personally, one of my favorites as well. It's Ethereal Glass. Okay, let's take a look at this stuff, and I'm going to demonstrate it right over here where I had my darkness area set up. What I'm going to do is just place down the Ethereal Glass right here. Cool, right? What happens? Well, this magical glass can be passed through by players. So no problem walking through it. But, zombies or any other entities really cannot make their way through. So I'm going to switch this guy to normal mode, and I'm going to get myself a couple of zombies and make it nighttime. Oh boy, here goes. Spawn zombies. There we are. These guys. How's it going, guys? Aw, sorry. That's solid glass. You guys can't make it through. I've got no problem walking through it, though. Ouch. So it acts kind of like a door, but you can pass through it very easily. I like that. It would be a neat way to build your house, kind of like a nice way to get in and out easily, but other entities can't pass through. Now, if you hold shift and try and walk into it, you'll note that you can't get through. So this is me trying to walk into the glass and failing completely because I'm holding shift. Let go of shift and you can get through just fine. Nice, right? See you later, zombies. And that's about all we've got for the ethereal tools and items. Pretty nifty. Now let's move on to some other cool stuff that's available in extra utilities. Right here, I'm planting some crops. And I'm going to show you guys the watering can. This guy is not too hard to make. Okay, the watering can recipe is pretty easy. There's actually 2 recipes for it. It's basically, let me show it to you here. The recipe is stone, 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 bone meal, and a bowl. Now, if you're playing in Peaceful, you can go ahead and omit the bone meal in that recipe, okay? And you get an empty watering can. Pretty nifty, right? Now, you can go ahead and right-click on water, and you'll see that it picks it up and it's no longer empty. Neat. I can go ahead and right-click on this, and you can see it's kind of watering the crops for us, and it's helping them to grow a little bit faster. Well, that's pretty cool. It's not going to grow them instantly like bone meal would, but it definitely helps, and it waters the plants just a little bit more quickly. So if you're in a rush to get some food, if you happen to have some bone meal on you, but not enough to really go crazy, it'll water in a decent-sized area. It also helps to put you out if you're on fire, but if you do that, it's occasionally possible that the watering can will empty. So watch out for the watering can emptying. You can go ahead and fill it back up in any water source. Not a big deal. And guys, there's just a few more nifty tricks I want to show you. First off, I want to show you the following recipe right here. This is a easy way to get yourself some nether stars. Well, not quite so easy. Peaceful mode only. Can't pull it out of the crafting table unless I happen to be in peaceful mode. So let's go ahead and change that up right now. So in peaceful mode, you can go ahead, if you're playing peaceful and you want access to nether stars, it's just another one of those examples of, hey, I like to play in peaceful mode, maybe, younger kids or something like that who don't like to play in the survival mode with all the enemies running around. Peaceful mode way of getting yourself a nether star, which you would not have been able to get from the peaceful table that I showed you a bit ago. However, note that, you can get the wither skeleton skulls from the peaceful table. Just make sure to place it in the nether, because you wouldn't find wither skeleton skulls in the overworld. You probably have to place that in another fortress, because remember, it only spawns entities that would be allowed to spawn there naturally. So, definitely a good way to get yourself some wither skulls. All right, so that's how you get nether stars in peaceful mode. Another way is a way to make obsidian a little bit faster than you might be able to if you're frustrated with how hard it is to go ahead and get obsidian. Simply craft like this. But hey, it's not working. That's because I don't think he wants you to be able to automate this. It only works in the player's crafting table. So get a lava bucket, a water bucket, and a diamond pickaxe, and you get yourself a piece of obsidian. Just makes it a little bit easier to get yourself some obsidian, but of course it is frustrating to get that much lava and water and buckets and all that stuff. So you're probably better off just mining it manually, but it is like a nice kind of safe-ish way to get yourself a few pieces of obsidian, especially if you have a good amount of buckets and water nearby. But like I said, it doesn't work in a crafting table, so it's probably not automatable. Who knows though? Maybe we'll figure out a way. And with that, guys, I think we're pretty close to wrapping up the mod spotlight on extra utilities. There is a bag of holding, which is basically a backpack that can hold a double chest worth of items, so you can go ahead and craft that guy. It's real easy. I won't even show it to you just because it's just a standard bag that you guys have seen in several different mods. So pretty cool mod overall. Lots of different functions, lots of different mechanics, all kinds of just different nifty utilities that are useful overall. Everything from items and liquid and energy transport to sound muffling, and honestly, I heard villager sounds in 1.6 are a little bit loud, so maybe these muffler blocks will be extra useful, especially when you have some kind of villager farm going on. And the naming of things, just so much different stuff that it's definitely a mod worth checking out. I'm sure there's at least a couple things in here that you guys will get a kick out of and enjoy playing with. So for now, this is Direwolf20 signing off on the Mod Spotlight Part 2 of Extra Utilities. Definitely worth checking it out. Currently available for 1.5 of Minecraft. Definitely going to be in the Direwolf20 1.5 Feed the Beast mod pack. And we will hopefully see it in 1.6 as well. I know the mod author is working on it at this time. All right, guys, take it easy.